Everyone, all the views out there, welcome back to another episode of Gunners and Giggles with my co-host here, Erkin, Arsenal. Make sure you go and subscribe to our channel. Today, we come to this live as Community Shield champions. Erkin, tell me how you feeling, bro?
Champione. Ole, ole, ole. Bro, you know, if we lost that game, I've got like all the little worms from United, Tottenham, they would have come out the woodwork. But because we won it, no, it's just a friendly, it's this and that. But yeah, there's a lot to speak about, a lot of questions that are still more questions. But yeah, I'm happy, bro. I don't know about you. Obviously, watching the game, you did a watch along and that. I've not seen us looking that good. And then, like, again, it's a preseason friendly in a sense. But yeah, I've not seen us go forward that well in a long time, bro. I probably had hair the last time.
Do you know what? That's a good question, actually. I was going to ask you, do you think Community Shield's a big trophy or not?
I always count it, bro, because when they, do all the flipping Guardiola, 50 trophies, whatever he's got, there's a few Community Shields in there, bro. So if they're counting that for him, and we've won it the most as well, so it's always one of them ones, isn't it? Like, because Arsenal's won it the most, it doesn't count as much. But I count it, bro. It's a day out. It's literally the champions of the domestic cup, the FA Cup, and the champions of the league in the Premier League face each other, bro. So you could call it, I guess, the English Super Cup, man. But what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like, listen, if it goes in the cabinet, it's a trophy. And the thing is, you're always going to be playing a banging team. It's never going to be, anyone that's trash. It's always going to be first place in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Versus, another good team, of course. And the thing is, I know there's a stat. Whoever's won the Community Shield never wins the league, apparently. So, okay. I don't know. Could we break that curse? Well, in Arsenal's history, we know that's true. Every time we won the Community Shield, we never won the league. But I feel like we could break it, definitely. But yeah, we got a chat from Jamal. It's a dinner plate cup. Of course, you'd say that because Manchester United, they can't even get into a Community Shield. Yeah. It's actually sad. Don't be bitter, man. Don't be bitter. But got another chat here from Jaden. Man City downfall could start. Sorry. That's an interesting point. Yeah. I was going to say, I think Rodri's stock has gone up. Yeah. Now we know he's gone to Barcelona. I think 76 million, I think it is.
I think it's about that. Yeah. If it all goes well.
Do you think Maresca, he's never beaten Arteta. Do you think Maresca and the City boys, do you think it's going to be a hard hill for them to climb?
I don't want to judge it off this game because I haven't really watched City throughout preseason. But anyone that came in, it could have been Sir Alex, bro. Well, not that far, but anyone to follow Pep, and a lot of those players are Pep's players. It's kind of one of those things where when Wenger left, obviously Unai Emery came in, didn't do as well because he hasn't got that. I don't want to hate that word, bro, but aura, and obviously Pep's generational. It's going to take a long time for them to buy into what he's selling. And obviously him getting in his own players too, because although they've got the Erlings of the world, the Fodens and that, they're still not his players, his, mold of a footballer to put into his system. I know he wants Enzo Fernandez. I know he wants a couple more. But, bro, he's not beating Arteta, man, and I don't think he's, I wouldn't say as experienced, but with Arteta, he's been in the job quite a few years now, and it's taken him a long time to get where he is, where we are as well. But yeah, I think Maresca, I don't think they would have signed just anyone, especially after Pep. So they either really believe what he's selling, they see what the potential could be. But again, for Chelsea, he was doing all right, bro, before he got the sack. And I think he only got the sack because of the whole flirting with City thing. But yeah, what do you think? Have you seen enough of Maresca throughout the Chelsea reign to be worried, or what do you think?
I'll just say this: Maresca had the same amount of resources as he does at City. Like, we know Chelsea, they've got the money to back up the club, and they could spend big like PSG. They could spend big like Man City. They do spend blind. I get all that. Like, they buy a lot of players which they don't utilize. Like Romeo Lavia is kind of forgotten. Gittins, he came from Dortmund, had a good season at Dortmund, and then kind of vanished on the Chelsea system. I know they've got a few things at the back, but I don't see Maresca doing or creating the same legacy as Pep. And I think Rodri leaving is going to have a big impact on the squad. Now, obviously, we had Elliot Anderson in, And some of the stats I was looking at when he played against Arsenal was like obviously 0 goals, zero assists, 0 key passes, 0 out of 6 crosses, 0 dribbles, lost possession 15 times, 0 tackles, and 1 out of 3 ground duels won. That does not look like a £170 million player.
Yeah.
And I think Rodri leaving is gonna, and Bernardo Silva, I feel like next window, I feel like potentially Haaland could leave, because if City don't pick it up in the season, or at least compete or try to win the league, then what happens is that these big players will leave. And I know out there City fans are saying every manager that's ever walked through the dressing room has won the league for Man City. I get all that, but remember, all the big teams now in the Premier League are slowly, rebuilding, and City on a rebuild.
Yeah,
it's hard to maintain the Premier League and rebuild at the same time. Arsenal, I think we've kind of finished our rebuilding process. We're just adding players along the way that can help us maintain the level we have now. It's not like we've got lots of dead weight. We don't. We've got players that want to stay. Like, it's hard for us to even shift players because they want to stay so bad. It's a good thing to have, of course.
Yeah, it's true. The thing is, even the 2 years prior, like Pep's last 2 years, you could see the chinks in the armor. Yes, they took us to the wire last season, but you kind of felt like that was Arsenal's doing, not City's doing. Like, it weren't so much City playing well or well enough to challenge us. It was more us making mistakes, us dropping points, A little bit of a wobble in terms of mentality, I think, and nerves, and obviously key players not being fit. But I think with City the past 2 years, Arteta, I think, is the only manager to finish above Pep 2 years in a row. So that was, I wouldn't say a shift in how it is, but you could kind of see they were nowhere near the team they were when they won the treble, the Centurions and all of that. But I think with Pep, you could tell he was going through it off the field, with divorce and whatever else was going on, scratching himself, whatever. But yeah, it felt like all the key players that were definitely the backbone to the success, Rodri, Bernardo, Stones, Diaz is still falling off a bit, I feel, as well. A lot of these players are either leaving, aging, or they just can't stay fit for most of the season, And I think we've got such a young squad still that are still either going into their prime or still yet to hit their prime. So there was definitely a shift in that sense. In terms of Maresca, again, I think if they give him time, maybe like we gave Arteta, there could be something. I just can't see him doing it for the next couple of years, bro. Like you said, a lot of teams rebuilding, bringing in a lot of players, managers shifting. Arsenal, on paper, look like we should walk the league, but that's on paper. You just never know what's going to happen.
No, it's so true, man. It's so true. I just want to say big up everyone in the chat. Make sure you get involved in the comments. We're going to be responding, and obviously we want to know your views, because we got our Tottenham fan here, Jaden. Big up, Jaden, a long-time viewer of mine. But he says, wonder what City all the way is feeling right now. Bro, I have to agree. I don't feel like they're feeling 100%, especially after the 3-0 whooping. I mean, we all had it at 2-1. I had it at 2-1, I'll be honest. I said, look, Maresca's still a decent manager. They've still got good firepower. But 3-0, I don't think anybody in the chat, I don't think me or you predicted 3-0.
No.
But yeah, Tom Carter said, I think Arsenal will win one of the big two this season. Tom, are you talking about Champions League? Because if you are, my friend, I hope we do. But that's the next thing on Arsenal's list. I know it has to be Champions League. Obviously we always wanted to win the title, but I think Champions League is the next step. I think Jaden's agreeing with you, He says you were right. Zolis could be a gem and a bargain for Arsenal this season. Yeah, I mean, I think we've got to talk about Zolis. In the last 19 games he's played, he's been involved either a goal or assist. And that is including the preseason. So right now, he's the most consistent player, and obviously numbers-wise, on that Arsenal team. But how do you feel about Zolis? Do you feel like he could be the bargain of the season? Do you feel like he could be, he could be at that level where, he's basically on one of the best wingers in the league? How do you feel like Zolis' season will go this year?
Well, I've seen enough of him, and I'm not just talking about this match. I'm talking about preseason, because I keep talking about this video where he first signed for Arsenal, coming into the training ground, and his parents were involved, and meeting Arteta and all of this. You could just get a good feeling of a player. You know, you don't have to see him kick a ball to be able to tell what the player's about in terms of the energy, vibe, intelligence, how they speak, confidence, and all of that. I love him, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He's not the flashiest of wingers we've ever seen, but he's like a cross between a Martinelli and a Trossard with better decision making, better intelligence. And everyone talks about Saka, why he's so dangerous on his side. It's not just about athleticism, obviously ball, how he's on the ball and stuff. It's more about decision making and holding your nerve at key parts in the final third. Zolis, bro, every time he's either on the ball, he makes something happen, or he's looking to. It's not just pass back and inshallah, like hope for the best. He's looking good. And I don't want to be worried, but it was a bit weird the fact that he played the whole game, bro. Like, it's not even like someone else come on left wing. We're 3-0 up, bro. Like, where's Martinelli? He weren't even in the squad, I believe, Wanyeri as well. I just hope we don't run him into the ground. That's my only worry, bro. But in terms of what I've seen so far, this game, 2 assists? He got the most assists last season in Europe. So that's a madness. You know, I know it's for Bruges and all of that, but come on, man. That's still silly numbers. Yeah, I like the look of him. And I feel like we've got a big gem for 35 mil. Adnan tried to say he was mid signing. Where's Adnan now? Huh? Where is he?
Bro, listen, I feel like there's a lot of Arsenal haters out there. I think we've got to admit that. And the thing is, because we don't buy a player for 100 million, people will think we're not buying the right player. But it doesn't mean that because you spend 100 million, he's necessarily going to be a success. I said, look, if we get Vinny and Zolis starts outperforming Vinny's not going to be that type of player to sit on the bench. And that's a problem in the dressing room. But the way Zolis is playing, I feel like he's looking very promising. He's very unselfish, and he's looking to do an assist, which is good. And I feel like that's kind of what we were missing last season. Like, it was a bit up and down. It wasn't consistent. But with Zolis, he hardly passes back, like you were saying. Like, even the first goal, the cross he gave into Madueke, pinpoint, and it led up to the goal after 30 seconds. Got an assist, 2 assists yesterday. You know, playing against Man City. Okay, it's Community Shield, but still, it's a big game. You know, you're going up against a world-class team, if not the second best team in the Premier League right now, and you come up with 2 assists on your debut. I mean, look, if he carries on like that, I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to be the best buy of the season. Forget Bruno Guimaraes. I think Zolis will be the best buy. But yeah, we've got some chats. Tom, he said, I think Arteta will prioritize the Champions League. I think he's going to prioritize both, I'll be honest. The Premier League and the Champions League. I think the depth, again, it's immense like last year. But at the same time, the quality in depth has definitely gone up a level since last year, of course. And I feel like there still needs to be a few additions. We've seen the likes of Martinelli. He wasn't with the squad yesterday. Do you feel like that's an indicator that he might be leaving?
You know, before seeing the videos I've seen, like, I would have said no. But the fact that they weren't even interested to celebrate, that's what worried me, bro. Like, Wanyeri is just chilling next to Martinelli. I think in the end, Gabriel had to just sort of pull him and be like, bro, what are you lot doing? Come and celebrate and all of that. But yeah, there's a lot of rumblings, man. Obviously, Galatasaray, I'm sure we'll get into it. And Wanyeri, a couple bids coming in. The problem is, though, I really like the look of Wanyeri in that centre mid role where he's played in the pre-season. But then you look at Miles Lewis-Skelly and you're like, it's just clear, innit, in terms of being comfortable in that position. What do you think, though? Do you think that was it? That was kind of like the final straw? Like, Martinelli's going, Wanyeri's going? Because I know they couldn't have as many players in the squad for this thing. Even Arteta came out and said it. But yeah, it was very weird, bro. It was very weird. What do you think?
I think Wanyeri, he's nearing an exit, I think, compared more. And I think he's more likely to leave than Martinelli. I think with Martinelli, the thing is, he was a regular starter last year. Wanyeri wasn't. Obviously, he was loaned out. AC Milan are really liking him. They're trying to bid. They've had a bid rejected. Obviously, Galatasaray want Martinelli. But I do think that Martinelli not being in the squad yesterday was kind of an indicator he could be leaving. I like both players, I'll be honest. I don't think Wanyeri is suited to the central midfield role, if I'll be honest, because, you know, Bruno Guimaraes, yesterday, there was a point in the game where, he was battling, I think, Doku for the ball by the touchline.
Yeah.
And he's literally like aggressive, like pushing him out the way, literally to get the ball off him. And obviously on the other side, you've got Skelly, who's he is quite physical as well. Like he's quite strong with the low center of gravity. And I don't think 1 year he's got that same kind of that killer instinct, to make sure he gets the ball. Like with Bruno, he's a bit of a bully. That's why, he gets into arguments and whatnot. But I feel like 1 year he's a bit more suited to the advanced role, especially in front of goal. And he's got a great shot in him. And he's quite good with the passing. But I think if it comes to tracking back, I don't know if he's that caliber of player that can, help out the defense. A, because of his stature, and B, I just don't think that's his game anyway. We've got a lot of viewers here. Make sure you subscribe to both channels if you haven't already. We do this every Monday. We'd like to hear your thoughts, of course, and obviously you won't be able to miss a upload. Got a chat as well. Jamal said Zolis is so sick on the ball. I fear for next season the amount of damage he's going to do. Yeah, we can only hope, man. We can only hope.
Yeah.
And speaking of damage, there's one big time game player. And this person always shows up in every game. He scored against Man City. He scored against Chelsea. He scored in the final. It's Kai Havertz. I think Arteta has a problem.
Yeah.
Who does he start up front? Because on one end, you've got a striker that does score against small teams. He's got 23 goals last season. But then you have a striker that scores in the big games.
It's weird, man. You know what? Every time you feel like Gyökeres is the guy to lead us forward, Havertz just pops up with a clutch goal, a clutch moment, or just out of nowhere, a link up with the rest of the team. It kind of feels like Arteta does favour Havertz because, bro, Champions League final, biggest game of your career so far in terms of, Arteta, and he plays Havertz. So that was telling. I don't think it was as much with tactics as it was favoritism. I think it was a bit of both. And I feel like Havertz, he's more polished, as a striker, even though I feel like he's like a Bergkamp, innit? He's between a 10 and a 9. It's just so weird. If you had to choose, bro, based on what we've seen over the years with Havertz and over, I guess, the last few seasons with Gyökeres for us and Sporting, if you can only have one to start, where are you going? Because I'm like, you need both. You kind of need the polar opposites, and they are, in my opinion.
Do you know what? I'll be honest. When they both start together, Havertz always gets an assist and Gyökeres always gets a goal whenever Havertz starts. It's weird. And one thing that I picked up last year from the issues in terms of Gyökeres was that he was not getting any service. Like, there were so many times where Saka was literally turning a blind eye to him and wouldn't square the ball. Same thing with Trossard. But I feel like with Zolis, because he's that type of player where I feel like he cares about assists more than goals, I feel like he could bring out the best in both Havertz and Gyökeres equally. Because if it weren't for Zolis, then Havertz wouldn't have had a goal. We know that for sure. And Havertz isn't that type of player to run through the whole team himself. He's not that type of guy. He's just in the right places at the right time. But with Gyökeres, if he gets the service, because he's a bit more of a poacher, then I feel like he can have more than 23 goals next season. I feel like he could definitely score more than 14 in the league. But yeah, it's such a hard question, man, because right now, I'd start Havertz in the big games. If I was playing, I don't know, Liverpool, I'd start Havertz up front first. I'll be deadly honest. And the thing is, as well, I think last year I would have said, you know what, start Havertz behind Gyökeres. But the way Ødegaard played yesterday, I think we might have the old Ødegaard back. I'll be honest. Guys, let me know in the comments. Am I waffling? But the way Ødegaard played yesterday, I don't know if it's Bruno Guimaraes. I don't know if it's because Arteta said, look, we've got somebody solid in central midfield now to play in Rice's role. You just stay up front. But the way he was doing the turns, the misplaced pass by Rice, and the way he turned that into a beautiful turn. Left, was it Rico Lewis, whoever that Cisco player was. And then look, like the passing, even Havertz's goal. Ødegaard gave the ball to Zolis, crossed it over, then he headed it in. Again, Zolis with the assist, Ødegaard composure, made Donnarumma sit down, made the cameraman sway that way, the cameraman to bring it back, and scored.
That was the Ødegaard that we signed, that we had on loan, bro, 3-4 seasons ago when he was in, full flow. We was comparing him to Bruno Fernandes and De Bruyne, And then he kind of tailed off like for 2 seasons, you know. I'm not making excuses, but as a newish dad myself, your whole world's upside down, bro. I'm not making excuses by any means.
Yeah.
But on top of that, he had so many injuries that sets you back mentally and physically. Literally 3 or 4 injuries last season. Of course, him going into the World Cup, that was kind of like, okay, Odegaard's ticking. Is it just for Norway? Is it because he's got his pal Erling there? But no, he looks like he's brought that form, that confidence, that enjoyment for football again back to Arsenal. And it's great. And look, like you said, it could be down to instruction. This brother was playing ball boy at some points at centre back because he was so deep for us, you know. He defo stayed more advanced, whether that is by instruction, whether that's him more conscious about it, or whether that's him just knowing or feeling more secure with a Bruno there, you know, a Guimaraes there, and being able to just stay up there and think, you know what, they're good over there. I'm going to stay up here and help out with the attack. But yeah, man, any other players that sort of stood out to you? Because I know you got player of the match, but there was about 2 or 3 that I thought, yeah, these brothers left off where they, you know, picked up where they left off last season.
I think for me, one of the annoying, and this is actually relates to Jamal's chat. So Jamal said, what's Arsenal's biggest weakness going into a new season? And this kind of relates to who I think is amazing and had a great game yesterday, is Calafiori. Like, it's so annoying that he's injured a lot of the times in the season. But when he plays, like the way he joins the attack, it just looks so fluid. Like, he doesn't look like a left back. He looks like a winger sometimes because he'll go forward, but then he'll know when to pass. He doesn't try to dribble or try to do more than his body can handle.
Yeah.
And he'll make the runs in the right places at the right time. And Skelly, you know, great pass. But his finish was like a striker's finish. We saw last year when he came on against Bayern Munich, it was 1-1, gave a beautiful cross, got Madueke's first goal for Arsenal. And what a time to get against Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
But again, it's just, he's not there consistently because he's always injured. And I'm just fearful as well that injuries are kind of already, you know, on Arsenal's alert before the season began. You know, we've got Saliba out, Rice. I don't know why he played yesterday. You know, I was so, I'll be honest, I was quite pissed that he was playing, considering we were already winning and he already needs rest. Yeah. And then Calafiori, if he gets injured, you know, left wing, injuries, man, it's one weakness that I feel like Arsenal might not be able to handle if certain players get injured, I'll be honest. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think I spoke about this last season in terms of combinations with our left wing and left back. In some instances, it was better for Calafiori and Trossard and Nketiah and Martinelli. And I think that Zolis and Calafiori link up, it looks deadly, bro, because they're so intelligent. And we have to remember, Calafiori is a centre-back turned left-back. So maybe that's taken a toll on him with injuries over the past season or two. But I do think that combination could work well because Calafiori could have 2, bro. I know he dived at one instance, which weren't the best looking, but he could have had 2 goals, bro, from left-back. Imagine. But yeah, it looks like Zolis has that work rate to drop off as well on cover because there were so many times where they were doubling up on Semenyo. And I'm like, look, is this Martinelli 2.0? Do you know what I mean? Because that's what he's known for. But yeah, so you prefer Cala compared to Nketiah left back in terms of if you can only start one?
I think Calafiori, he's good defensively, but obviously I think Nketiah is better. But do you know, I think with Arsenal, because we've seen him go defensive so much, you know, Calafiori, when he supports the attack, I feel like the ball stays higher up the pitch, if that makes sense. Do you get it? Because he will slot into the central midfield role, but keeping the line high to keep the ball contained in the opposition's, you know, half. But his awareness to get up front and when to get up front, I don't think that's Nketiah's game. Now, of course, they're both central defenders by trade, makeshift left backs. But yeah, I think I'm not taking anything away from Nketiah. It's a very close call. But for me, I just think Calafiori edges it, man. Like yesterday, he just shows that 30-second goal after 30 seconds. I feel that's what kind of gave Arsenal the confidence going on through the game. Like, look, we scored after 30 seconds. We can expose them. Let's carry on. And he could have got, like you said, he could have got more goals. Like, he had a wicked cross that, you know, he volleyed. Unfortunately, went over. But if he scored 2 goals, I think you definitely would have got player of the match.
Yeah, because he did all right defensively as well. He kept Semenyo quiet with Zolis. You know what's mad? I just clocked it. I think Pep did this a few seasons ago, where the whole back line was just centre backs. I know Carl Walker was still there and thereabouts, but in terms of starting, it was all centre backs. And Arsenal have slowly done that because Ben White started off really as a centre back. I know we've only shifted him into right back now. Timber as well, he plays centre back for the Netherlands. So it's weird how it's panned out, but the way we play our system, I don't think you need the most athletic and paciest of fullbacks, you know, because most of the time they're overlapping and overloading their side. And then you've got Rice cleaning up, Zubi, now Bruno. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. And Ben White, we'll touch on him quickly. Like, he played a good game, bro. Going forward, I've not seen him get up and down the pitch as much, you know, until, well, I'd say because with Saka, Ødegaard, and Ben White, that link up was amazing in that season, you know. But this looks like, I think he's like, bro, Madueke, just chill there, bro. I'll handle this because the overlaps were really good, man. And yeah, Ben White, if he stays fit as well, because that right back is worrying me, man. I know left back we've got more cover, but right back, bro.
Yeah, no, it's looking a bit scarce.
Yeah, it
is. We've got a chat. If Arsenal don't win the league this season, what do you think would have gone wrong? I think playing the similar type of football as we did last year in terms of being too defensive, scoring and doing part of the bus. I don't think it could play, you know, into our hands like it did last season this year. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think?
I would say injuries. That would have gone wrong for us because Saliba, arguably top 3-4 best centre backs in the world. And I think it would be the fact that we haven't got either cover for centre back and right back or the attacking positions. Because if Martinelli does go, if Wanyeri does go, and obviously there are some players that throughout the season you're gonna probably have to rest them. Like Saka's definitely, he's not gonna be able to play a full season. So yeah, I think in terms of what could go wrong, it would be injuries and the lack of signings, I'd say. But yeah, Jaden's got a good question here in terms of Eze, because we're talking up Ødegaard, and rightly so. But I think Eze is going to have an important role this season if we don't sign a left winger, because he could fill in that void along with obviously playing in the 10 or left 8. Well, where do you think? Do you think he needs to chill out and rest, or let Ødegaard shine, or what?
I think Eze has got a lot to prove, just like Ødegaard. You know, they're both brought in to obviously have the number 10 role. I think Eze isn't as effective on the left wing as he is behind the striker. But with Ødegaard, the way he's playing, you can't bench him next game. I'll be honest, you can't. But what Jaden's saying is correct. Like, what do you think of Eze at the moment? Do you think he should start on the bench? That's the thing. Like, it's a valid question to ask because Eze, he's not your average Joe. He's a great player, plays well for England, plays well for Arsenal, but it's a good problem to have. But I think because we have so many games, I think everybody will get game time. But I think if he goes on a left wing, and let's say we don't buy another left wing, we keep Zolis, Martinelli, he stays, Eze goes on the left. Some people are saying that Martinelli in the central role is actually really effective.
Well, he's played there for Brazil, isn't it? So
that's what I'm saying.
If we get rid of Jesus, and hopefully we do, because those wages can be put to good use, bro. I wouldn't be mad because it offers us something different up front that we don't have. Like Havertz, technically gifted, physical. Gyökeres, not technically gifted, still physical, but great finish, you know, does make the runs in the channels and where he needs to. But we don't have that raw pace up front that some teams do, like with a Krupi even Erling Haaland, I'd say. So I wouldn't be mad at that, bro, because Martinelli, he's done that for us before. And there's been a rotation up front throughout the years. Jesus shifting on the left or right, Martinelli in the middle. Yeah, I'm not mad. That's why I'm not like, you know, some of these content creators, bro, they're stressing. Oh my God, left wing, da-da-da. But when you think about it, you're paying all these hundreds of millions or near enough to get something that's still not Prem proven, still not, I wouldn't say the biggest improvement on Martinelli unless you're spending those big bucks. Like Nico Williams and Leao, I still don't think they're better than Martinelli, bro. Like, I genuinely don't. Like, in terms of a big gap, do you know what I'm saying? Obviously the Yildizes and Alvarez's and all of those sort of names, yes, of course. But then you're spending mad money. And then even then, is Alvarez going up front? Is he going left wing? Is Yildiz going to be Prem proven? You know, like all these questions, bro. So
no, I agree. I've always said, what is the difference between Barcola and Martinelli? What is the difference?
Yeah. I mean, he is better. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, in the Prem though, this is what in the Champions League. It's nice, it's fancy. Obviously, PSG, he's probably rested, playing 1 or 2 games a month because the league's wrapped up 3-4 months in advance. You know, but in the Prem, it's different kettle, man. Different kettle of fish. So
Barcola in the final last year had 2 runs at Arsenal when he got behind the line. He did what Martinelli did, just shoot at the keeper and just hope it goes in. That's what he did. He's got no end product, just like Martinelli. I'm telling you. And what you're saying about being Prem proven is a great point, because Jaden, you're gonna love this, mate. You're gonna hype up your team a little bit. But Tottenham, the reason why I feel like they're gonna probably do well this year compared to last year is because every player they've bought is Prem proven. Like Van Hecker, Prem proven, Brighton player. They've got Tonali. Obviously, I don't need to speak about him too much. We already know what he's about. They've got Mateus Fernandes. Like
Senesi.
Prem proven players, Senesi. These are Prem proven players, and I feel like they're going to definitely work well in a team. Like Chelsea, all the players that they've bought from the Prem has actually worked out really well. Like there's a few players here and there that have come from abroad, like Enzo Fernandez. But if you look at Caicedo, João Pedro, if you look at Cucurella, if you look at who else? Palmer, Pedro Neto.
Yeah.
Like Pedro Neto, some people are a bit up and down about him, but those players alone have all been proven to work out because they're all Prem proven players. But if I tell you about Gittins, he doesn't start. He's not great for Chelsea. You know, if I say to you Hato, he's all right, but I mean, still, the jury's out for him. We've still got to find out if he's actually worth the money that they paid for him.
Yeah.
Malo Gusto, he's never going to start ahead of James. He's all right, but he's not wicked. He's not amazing.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So I think the Prem proven thing is definitely easier, and I feel like the transition, it's not that deep for a lot of players.
I'd even say an Englishman that had to go abroad, do his thing, and he done very well at Dortmund, Jadon Sancho. Yeah. We've not seen him in the Prem do what he's done for Dortmund on a consistent level in the Champions League, go into a final, like all these things where on paper he should just come into a Man United, even Chelsea or Villa, wherever he's had to go, and do at least something, bro. But he's done nothing. All the money he's been on, and look, I'm not singling him out, but he had so much potential where people were putting him up against an Mbappe's and all of this, where even with Barcola, bro, I'd even take Doué over Barcola. Like Desiree Doué, he comes on for France, bang, instant impact against, I think it was Morocco. Like, he is the sort of player you break the bank for. Don't get me wrong, Barcola, great baller. But again, the fact they want so much for a player that's not Prem proven, to me, it's just, we've seen this story before, man.
I think personally, these teams outside of Premier League, they know that Premier League makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I feel like because Premier League teams want these players, they make sure they get the money's worth and some extra cheddar on top. Because I can't remember the last time Barcelona, I think it was probably Coutinho, the last time they spent over 80 million on a player. Like whenever they do the transactions, I know Fabrizio always talks about euros, but Arsenal, they always have to, or Man United or Chelsea, whoever it is, they always have to spend over 100 million. Like Benfica, they made Chelsea spend over 100 million on Enzo Fernandez. He wasn't even the best in his position in the world at that time.
Yeah.
Like Shakhtar Donetsk, like who the hell are you lot to say 88 million for Mudryk? 88 million. And Chelsea said, yeah, cool.
You know what's mad though, bro? Like, it's funny, and there's a reoccurring pattern with a Madrid, a Barcelona, where they always get these elite players or players in their prime on a free transfer. Mbappe, Konate. I'm not saying he's elite, but he's still up there in terms of defenders, in the Prem. Not the best, but, I mean, for Liverpool, he done all right here and there. I think, obviously, they spent big bucks on a Coutinho, even Lewandowski. I think that was pretty cheap because I don't know what happened with that. He was running out his contract or what.
Yeah.
Or he might even have been free. I don't know. But
I think it was free, yeah.
Trent, you know what happened with Trent as well?
Yeah,
You know,
free.
all these patterns of like getting players on a free, being able to give them big bucks, but not having to spend a single penny because they know these players want to go to these teams, bro. They don't have to tickle whats and whisper sweet nothings in their ear and still have to fork out hundreds of millions. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's mental, bro.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, when you're a certain caliber of player and you know that when you go to a team, you can definitely increase their performance, make them play better. You don't really have to stress because you know that team is catering to you. You're not catering to the badge. They cater into the players' name, like Mbappe, Vinicius. They've had to give them lucrative contracts to bring them in, but they know that when they're here, they're going to enjoy it because you're living in a city with sun. You're basically going to be more than likely going to be a Champions League winner within the 3-4 years of your career because Madrid are just that team now. 15 Champions League, nobody's going to ever match that right now anyway. And they've obviously got pulled because historically they're the best in the world. Madrid, whatever anyone says, Madrid historically are the best team in the world. Like European, they've conquered it 15 times. We can't even get one. Do you get what I'm saying? Like we can't even get one. They've done it 15 times. It's so mad. But this is what happens. Like when they get players on free, they know that these players are coming because they know they're going to get treated well. They're going to get good money and they can still compete in Europe. It's not like they have to go to Saudi and be in a shit league. They know they're going to be in the best league, one of the best leagues in the world. But I think, with the money situation, I feel like it's going to get worse. I don't see transfers going down a level. I feel like it's going to get worse and worse. Like the Neymar set it off. That's it. Once he was done. And then United, they just started being, silly with the money. Like 85 million for Sancho, 90 million for Anthony, Martial 15 million at 19 years old, and he's not done anything in his career to be that much. Like Lamal's, at least he's gone to a Champions League semi-final. He's been one of the best players in the league. He's won La Liga. Like it's going to get worse and worse and worse. But we got a chat from Jamal. I don't see Spurs doing bits. I'll be real. So many players injury prone, and I don't think they can play together. Well, I feel like they've got a good manager. I feel like central midfield for Tottenham was really bad last year. I think they've sorted it out. I think they've probably got one of the best centre mids duos in the Premier League anyway, on paper. But I think I've got high hopes for De Zerbi, man. He did well with Marseille, did well with Brighton. So do you feel like Tottenham are gonna be bad this season?
I wouldn't say bad. I think they'll definitely be improved compared to last season. Like if they're anywhere near 17th, then sack the club, bro. Sack it all. I think they're probably sitting around mid-table, maybe pushing for Europe because obviously the signings they've made. However, I do think they still have a lot of work to do, bro. Like all those signings were essential. They were like the bare minimum. The centre mids, obviously the centre backs, and all the players that they let go and made good money on. They still need a striker. They still need, I'd say, even a winger. A proper couple of wingers. Because Kulusevski can't really stay fit, it looks like. But yeah, man, even as an Arsenal fan, we got Spurs friends all over the gaff, unfortunately. But it's like, it's one of them things. It's a bittersweet rivalry and relationship because you want them to not challenge us, but at least make it interesting. Do you know what I'm saying? When we play against them or when we give them banter and stuff. But yeah, I'd probably mid-table or just push in for maybe a Europa spot, I think. Yeah.
I don't see him getting worse than 17th. There's no way. Not with the additions. And I think with the players that they've got coming back from injury, like Maddison, Kulusevski, I think it was a big loss losing Jed Spence, I'll be honest. I feel like it is a big loss. Like, I think Andrew Robertson is a bit of a downfall. Downgrade because Jed Spence is obviously younger, starts for England, one of the best players for England. That's the only area I think Tottenham are lacking. But nonetheless, they spent heavy in the window. And like I said, I don't feel like that can make them worse, if that makes sense. Like, I think De Zerbi is a better manager than Thomas Frank. I always thought that. But yeah, with Tottenham, it's going to be strange, man. The thing is with Tottenham, you don't know what you're going to get. Like, you can get a Tottenham that will be in top 4. I remember about 10 years ago, you're getting a Tottenham that will challenge you for the title. And then you're getting a Tottenham that's fighting for relegation. You just don't know. you know, when they got Kudus, I was jealous.
Yeah.
You know, we should have got him. We all linked with him, we didn't get him. Kulusevski played amazing. Obviously, due to injuries, he missed like 2 years now. Like that injury's been mad. And then Richarlison started the season well, like did a little overhead kick, and then it kind of just, you know, went downhill from there. But yeah, I think with
we missed this comment, Cass, from Jamal.
Oh yeah, we need to address it. Yeah, but I feel like with Tottenham, I feel like better than 17th, 100%. Jaden, if not, bro, you got to burn your shirt. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to burn it because you got the most expensive midfield in the league. There's no way you should be losing or getting relegated.
No.
But yeah, you want to answer it first. Who would you take from another Premier League team to improve Arsenal? What position though? Pick one position and that one player.
It's weird because the one that stands out straight away, it's not even an Erling Haaland. It's not like a world beater, but it's a Kroupy. Like I don't know why.
So?
Yeah, I think he offers us something different, bro. Whether he can play on the wing or straight down the middle. And he kind of won us the league last season, bro, when he scored against City and that. But I mean, in terms of potential, in terms of longevity, and giving us something we don't have in the attacking third, I think it's Kroupy, bro, and he's gettable as well. That's what I'm taking into account. But yeah,
100 million though.
I mean, bro, that's peanuts in this day and age.
Yeah, but I mean, for one season, 13 goals. The 13 goals rectify £100 million price tag. I don't think so, man.
But bro, you could see it though. Like, you know, there's players that are overhyped and overpriced, but there's certain players, that straight away you can just tell that, like in the Prem, he scored against us, City, and the impact he had for Bournemouth. You know, it's not just a City where they're playing well all the time. Like, he was one of the reasons they got into Europe for the first time, I think. So, yeah, but obviously 100 mil, who's really worth that nowadays?
Yeah.
If they're not a world beater, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, one player I'll take, and I like this player because I feel like they're very versatile. They play any position that they've been asked to. They've got a bullet of a shot. They've got a bullet of a free kick, and that is Mr. Szoboszlai. I think he's such a great player, man. Like, he was linked to Arsenal, rejected us for Leipzig, I remember, but we were in a bad state that time. But I think Dominic Szoboszlai, I really like him as a player, man. Some people in our other podcasts think he's mid. They think Tielemans is better than him. I don't know how. But guys, in the chat, who's better, Tielemans or Dominic Szoboszlai? Don't be biased if you're a United fan. Be honest with yourselves. Who would make more of an impact if they walked into your dressing room? Dominic Szoboszlai or Yuri Tielemans? But yeah, I think Dominic Szoboszlai. I feel like he'll be good in that number 10 role as well if he had to play there.
Bro, he's one of the only players where I feel like he could play anywhere and still do a job. Like, he'd be going in goal, bro, and still making world-class saves. But yeah, I love Szoboszlai, man. I mean, we've seen him score that dirty free kick against us last season at Anfield. Very pivotal to keeping Liverpool even up there for Europe and Champions League and stuff, let alone winning the league the season before and stuff. Yeah, he's easily £100 million player though in this current climate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, yeah, just with Szoboszlai, he's just amazing, man. But yeah, we got a chat. Deluded United fans. Yep, I have to agree. There's a lot of deluded United fans out there. Mark Goldbridge, actually, I was watching one of his videos. He said Man City to win the league. And on top of that, another thing that I want to point out to you guys is David Ornstein. He said, if I had to give you one Premier League club that will be the busiest in the upcoming transfer market, I would say Manchester United. Manchester United fans in the chat, or Tottenham, what do you think of United's window so far? Because, guys, I'll be honest with you, if anything, it was a library. It was quiet.
Bro. Amorim has come back to haunt them again, bro. It's mad, isn't it? It is mad. But I just want to go back to something quickly, Cass. Do you think last season or last summer window, the players that we got in seem like a bargain now, innit? Because when you look at a Rodgers, 117 mil, we got Eze for what, 60 or thereabouts. Gyökeres, he would have cost at least 100 mil now. Madueke, I feel like we overpaid for him, but he'd still be at least a 70 mil now, 60 plus, you know? So yeah, I don't think we pulled up trees, with a Madueke and that, even Gyökeres, there's questions, yeah, still is. But in terms of the business we did, I think that was a class window, bro. Like all round in terms of the money we spent, who we got, the depth, and the sheer amount of impact they made. Looking back now, hindsight, obviously, compared to this current market, anyway, bro. But yeah, what do you think of that?
Do you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. You know the previous season when we got when we got Rice and Timber, that window.
Oh yeah, and Havertz, wasn't it? I feel like
and Havertz.
Yeah.
I think for me, that is the best window in Arteta's. Do you know why? Because every player there was a hit. Like, I'll be honest, Madonki, on the right side, he was pissing me off yesterday. Like, there were so many times where he could pass, but he just, the way he's cutting in and trying to shoot and not doing anything with the ball, I'm like, bro, 50 million. But aside from that, like Zubimendi, there's some talks that he might be going to Madrid. Could be Barcelona as well. They're liking him. They want to get him. And he's a bit fearful of the Bruno Guimaraes. He's fallen down the pecking order for Spain. Looks like he's kind of fallen down the pecking order with Bruno Guimaraes arriving. Skelly's starting to play well. Zubimendi, he played well for the first half of the season, got burnt out. But yeah, I feel like last year, there's a lot of players that came in, obviously. Some players were there just for squad depth, like Kepa. So I'm not upset that Kepa's shit because he's just there for squad depth. But I feel like this year's going to be a big year for all those players coming in from last year. We said Krupi, he's amazing. He scored 13 goals. Gyökeres scored 14 in his debut season and walked over a Premier League trophy. So it's about perspective. Like on one end, we're saying, wow, this guy's going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. And then we're saying this guy's proper shit because he didn't score every goal he played in. I mean, every match he played in, didn't score a goal like he was doing at Sporting. But again, two different leagues.
Yeah.
First season for both players. And they've got identical goal scoring records in the Prem. One walked away with a Premier League trophy, one didn't, but we're saying one's better than the other. So, yeah, I feel like this year's going to be a big breakout season for a lot of those players. If it's not, then it is what it is, isn't it? At least I think majority of the signings have been great. Like Hincapié, fantastic. Zubimendi, I still say is a good signing. Madueke, decent. Gyökeres, good signing. Kepa, shit, I'll be honest. Can't stand him.
What was he, like 5 mil though, isn't it?
Yeah, so 3 million or something like that. Yeah, it's minor. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, just shrug it off.
Yeah, minor. Who else did we get? Eze, good signing, obviously. So yeah, I feel like it's looking bright, man, for this window coming up. But yeah, we got a chat. If Arsenal finish second again, we didn't finish second again. We finished first. But what would you blame first? Arteta, the squad, injuries, or recruitment? The thing is, you have to look at it this way. If we walk away with Champions League and we finish second, I'll have it, of course. What about you, Erk?
Yeah. I mean, I'd take that over a new hairline, bruv, all day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
of course.
We kind of answered this earlier. I think injuries will affect any squad, bro. Whether you've got depth to cover, you know, because there's no one really, well, in the Prem anyway, on Saliba's level. Or even with the Gabriel and Saliba chemistry, you know. So how do you replace Saliba for a few months? It's hard, you know. Obviously, if anyone else gets injured, like a Saka again, even a Gyökeres, like there's a lot of players that it bears a lot of weight on because they have to fill in, and they're not as good, you know, for large parts of the season. Not saying Havertz, it applies to Havertz, but I mean, relying on a Havertz for the whole season is a tough thing because you want to have options. You want to have different tactics for different opponents, you know? So, yeah, I guess you could say it would be lack of recruitment again because you still need cover for the back and the left wing, in my opinion. And we have to get rid of players, bro. It's not just about bringing players in. It's about getting rid of players that are killing the wages and just running down the contract for the sake of still being paid high wages, you know, like Jesus, Nelson, Fabio Vieira, like all these players that are nowhere near even starting a Carabao Cup game, let alone in the squad for the Premier League or Champions League. So, yeah, I think recruitment and transfer business is as much as getting rid of players than it is bringing in. And we've always been terrible getting rid of players, bro. That's a big problem, you know, because when Tottenham are selling players that are nowhere near the starting 11 for what, 30, 40, 50 million. Same with Liverpool. You kind of start to think, what's going on here, bro? What's going on? But yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, isn't it? Because you only evaluate the season, what's gone wrong once you're at the end. You can't kind of really call it now. Yeah. But if I had to pick something from the past experiences, it would be the injuries. That's what it is. And I feel like, obviously, like we explained earlier, if we're too defensive, I don't feel like we're going to have the same luck this year. So, you know, things need to change. But judging by last night's game, things look like they're different. We look a bit more free-flowing up front. You know, we didn't score a goal, sit back. We look like we want to push on. And look, we did push on. We got 2 more goals.
Yeah.
So, it's a bit hard to call right now. But just quickly off topic, I'll put my Instagram in the chat. I'm now on Instagram. I'm on the socials. So if you want to follow it, you can.
Is that I think you missed the T.
Yeah. Sorry, that guy Cass. Wait.
Yeah, basically what's on his screen on his name on the top left anyway. Yeah. But yeah, follow Cass, bro. It's been a long time coming getting him to make an Instagram.
I know, man, definitely. But listen, we've got about 9 minutes before we wrap up. We will be on the BTL podcast channel where we've got a Spurs fan, we've got United fans, and obviously us to represent Arsenal. So make sure you check out that channel. But I was going to talk to you about Coventry. First game of the season. Arsenal have Coventry on Friday. Nice way to start the Premier League. Being the first team to play their game. We're playing at the Emirates. We're playing against a newly promoted side. What is your prediction? What do you see in the team sheet looking like? And then we'll talk about the other teams on the weekend and what the scorelines we'll predict for them. So yeah.
I feel like I want to say another 3-0, but I don't know. Like, I don't think Coventry. Obviously, I can't remember last time they were in the Prem, if they were in the Prem ever. Yeah, forgive me. But yeah, I don't think they're going to be rolling up to the champions at the Emirates scared. I feel like they're going to have no fear. They're going to be like, do you know what? What we got to lose, you know? But yeah, my heart's saying 3-0, but I'm thinking we'll concede maybe 1. I still think we'll win it.
I think so.
Hopefully comfortably. Yeah, because City could have easily scored if they took their chances, because they did have chances, you know, and I know it's City. Although we were in control for 90% of that game, 95%, there were a couple times where the players just looked like they were lacking the fitness in terms of getting back or stopping a shot. And obviously Coventry's different team. But again, I think it works for them because they've got nothing to lose. What? They're going to play within themselves against the champions and still get battered. Do you know what I mean? But maybe it's just me being nervous for the first game of the season. I don't know, man. In terms of starting lineups, bro, I kind of feel like it will be the same as what we saw against City, you know, because we look good. A lot of those players are still, you know, obviously getting back into fitness. Some of the players that should be nowhere near the starting 11 or even on the bench, like Saka and Rice, they still need rest. We're still bringing them on. Although Saka did look good in spells, Rice, another couple of weeks at least, bro. Just chill out, you know, walk your dogs or something. But yeah, I think same sort of team, bro. Obviously, Raya looks fresh as ever. Cool ponytail, by the way, you know. But yeah, what do you think?
How did this guy not start for Spain once?
It's weird, man. It is so weird, bro.
I'm gonna have a hot take here, yeah. If David Raya gets injured, Arsenal season is ruined. I'm telling you. You heard it here first. God forbid he gets injured. We're gonna have a bad season. But yeah, I feel like it's gonna be 4-0 for me. He's with Arteta. I feel like this season he's gonna approach the game differently. He's gonna be more attacking. I hope so anyway, from what we've judged. And I think winning that game yesterday is definitely going to be a motivating factor. We're playing at the Emirates, newly promoted side. I feel like they'll be more nervous than us. You're playing a big team, first game. But at the same time, they do have a lot to prove as well. Jaden's just saying, you know, Mason Clark is a player to watch out for in that match. So underrated for them in the championship. So yeah, could he be a difference maker? I do still feel like with Arsenal and their strength, they're very overpowering. I don't feel like they'll concede. I feel like we're very good defensively. If we can keep City away from the net, then I'm sure we got no problem with Coventry, especially at the Emirates as well. And like Zolis, the way he tracks back, the way he defends, I know that's not his job, but I mean, look, he's following Arteta's philosophy. He's adapting really well. Ben White's playing amazing. But again, it's just for Arsenal, I feel like they're going to be too overwhelming. So, yeah. But then weekend, we got some really interesting fixtures. So I'm going to go through the fixtures. Just tell me your score predictions. Because there are some good games. So Saturday, we've got Hull and Man United. How do you see that are going? Hull are playing at home. Man United are playing away, and it's an early kickoff, 12:30. Who's winning?
Mate, them early kickoffs are a killer for these teams. 4-0 Hull. I'm joking.
4-0 Hull.
I'm joking. Just quickly, I think it might be a draw, a 2-2, bro. Because I don't think United have woken up yet, even in pre-season, man. I don't know, 2-2. Because Hull at home, obviously, again, another newly promoted team. At home, though, against a big Premier League proven team. Yeah, I'm going 2-2, man. What are you saying?
I'm going to say 1-0 Hull.
Ooh.
1-0 Hull.
Where's Jamal?
Do you know what it is with Man United? I think they had the luck of that new manager bounce. They've had the luck. They were absolutely shit against AC Milan. Like AC Milan, they've had bad seasons. They've sat their manager God knows how many times, but they will get dominated. Like Ruben Loftus-Cheek ripped the shit out of Luke Shaw. Like left back is such a bad position for Man United right now. And Man United had their first team playing. I know people will say, it's pre-season, but you're playing against a former manager. You have to win that. I know Carrick is wanting to win the game because he wants to show Man United made the right choice of getting rid of you, bringing me in. So to lose that, even though it's pre-season, but I know Instagram, I know X was having a field day with Man United fans. I was as well with Jamal. But yeah, I feel like United will lose, man. I feel like United's going to struggle a lot this season because the signings we expected them to make, they didn't do. They didn't get Tonali. They didn't get Anderson. They didn't get Fernandes. Andre Santos and Tielemans. I don't feel like they're going to take you to the next level. Casemiro, in my opinion, is better than both of them. In my opinion.
And bro, they got a lot more games. A lot more games, bro.
Yeah.
They're in trouble,
and Luke Shaw, bro, that geezer needs to retire, man. He's so bad. But yeah, next team is Everton Palace.
Oh, that's a tough one,
Now remember, Everton lost Jack Grealish. He's gone back to Man City. We saw yesterday, came on. Yeah. So Everton Palace, obviously, like I said, they've lost Jack Grealish, but they've got Brendan Johnson on a swap from Dwight McNeil. Palace have lost their manager.
Yeah.
They lost Lacroix at the back. So how do you see this game going? Everton are playing at home as well.
Thing is, I like Mateta a lot. Man, I feel like he turns up when when the back's against the wall, I think he turns up. They've still got Munoz, that right back. They've still got a decent side, like Lerma, decent team. Everton, though, I feel like it's going to be a 2-1 Everton job, because they're at home. Njai's still there, obviously. Moyes, I like Moyes as a manager. Tarkovsky's there. Pickford's probably fresh off the World Cup, buzzing with his performances. Yeah, I'm going 2-1 Everton.
Yeah, I think I'll probably say I agree as well. 2-1 Everton. Mateta will probably score. They still got good firepower up front. They got Jeremy Pino.
Yeah.
So, the thing is with Everton, they don't look stronger than last year. Crystal Palace, they look weaker than last year. That's why I've probably Everton edging it. So yeah, I think 2-1's a fair scoreline. Next game we have at 3 p.m. as well is Ipswich versus Sunderland. Ipswich at home, again, newly promoted side. But they're going up against Sunderland, who had a great season last year, considering they came back to Premier League, got European place, and they've got some good names on that starting 11 bench.
Yeah. Although Ipswich are at home, and again, new promotion bounce, if you want to call it that, but I just think Sunderland are going to have a lot more for him, Brobby, what's his name? Brobby or Brobbery? Or what's his name?
Brobby. Brian Brobby.
Brobby, yeah.
Brobby, yeah.
He scored, I know he scored his last game, pre-season. Yeah, he had a good tournament in the World Cup, man. Obviously, Xhaka as well made it pretty far. I'm going 2-0. 2-0 Sunderland, I think.
I'm gonna be. This might be a hot take as well. I'm gonna go draw. I'm gonna say 1-1.
So I'm not mad at that either, bro. I'll be honest.
Yeah, 1-1 Ipswich. Because Ipswich has spent a lot of money. I think they got Enciso now. I'm pretty sure they got Enciso
from Brighton.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So if it's the right team, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he went to Ipswich. But yeah, Ipswich, they definitely look better than they did the last time they were in the Premier League. Sunderland, they're playing away. I know their away record isn't the best, but I feel like Ipswich might just edge it, man, because they're playing at home first game as a promoted side. Yeah. They want to make a statement, so that's why I'm going to go. With the draw, 1-1. Next game is Forest versus Leeds. Forest versus Leeds. Leeds had the chance to sign Liao. Leeds said no.
Wow.
Can't believe it. Yeah.
That's mad. I like Leeds a lot, you know. I like Leeds a lot.
They're a bit jammy.
They are, but it's good to watch, bro. Like, it's like organized chaos. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they've got that about them. They've got a couple of players, though. They've got quite a few players that I like to watch. Calvert-Lewin on his day, you know, great finisher. Okafor, Aronson. What's his name? Wilson signed for them as well from Fulham.
Yeah,
that's a good signing, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't want to go 2-0 again. It's a bit safe, but 2-1. I'll go 2-1 Leeds. I think, yeah.
They're playing away, by the way, Leeds. I think Nottingham Forest will win this one.
Nah, I don't know, man. I saw enough of them last season to think, nah. And potentially, bro, this might be a bit of a derby rivalry because look how close it was last season with relegation with both of them. And I think on paper, losing Anderson, I think Leeds have a bit more quality about them. Do you know what I mean? On paper, anyway. I don't know. Obviously, you never know what's going to happen, but I still think Leeds will nick it, bro.
I don't know, man. I feel like Forest at home, they're pretty hard to beat. They are pretty hard to beat. They lost Elliot Anderson, but again, they've still got a lot of firepower. Gibbs White, Igor Jesus, Ronaldo. No, sorry, he plays for Sunderland. But yeah, I feel like probably Nottingham Forest for me. I'm going to say 1-0. 1-0 Nottingham Forest.
Ooh, all right.
Next game, I feel like it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be Tottenham away, but they're playing Brentford. But Brentford had a really good season last year.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a real test for Tottenham, I think. But obviously, they got new signings. How would they adjust? But yeah, I think this is probably the hardest one for me to call on the Saturday fixtures anyway.
It is a tough one because Brentford is a nightmare to go to, bro. We know that more than anyone, probably. But I think Tottenham, they have to start well. New signings, the manager's going to be like, listen, you sort it out or the belt is coming out. Yeah, it's Brentford, though, at home. They're physical, bro, and they don't mess about with their set pieces and stuff. Do you know what? I'm going to go 2-2. I'll go 2-2.
Okay.
I feel they'll do what they did to us last season. Probably Tottenham, early goal, maybe 2, and then Brentford slowly bully them into submission. So I'm going to say 2-2, bro.
Yeah, I think Tottenham will edge it 1-0. I think they're going to edge it 1-0. Jaden, mate, this is the only time you're going to hear me say Tottenham are going to do well. I think they're going to edge it 1-0.
Fair enough.
1-0, I think Tottenham will edge it. I feel like De Zerbi, he's got good philosophy. And I feel like having Maddison back is a very big plus for them. Brentford at home are quite tough as well. We couldn't win there last year. Actually, no, we did. We drew at home, I remember.
No, we drew against them, no?
Yeah, but I think we played at the Emirates when we drew.
No, it was Brentford, bro. I remember.
Was it Brentford? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like we struggled against Brentford as well last year, and I think they want to carry on that momentum. Tottenham obviously going through a big transition, but I still feel like with the quality on the pitch, on the paper, I'm going to give it to Tottenham 1-0. Sunday is an absolute field day of matches. 3 matches, but all heavy hitters.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kick off with the first one at 2:00. And that is Man City versus Bournemouth. The fixture last year that won us the Premier League.
Yeah.
Bournemouth and City. Obviously, big changes for Bournemouth, big changes for City. City playing at home. But how do you see this one going?
If this was last season again, I would have said similar, result in terms of Bournemouth winning. But there's a big transition with Bournemouth, obviously losing their manager, a couple of players. Semenyo making his return.
Krupi injured as well.
Yep, Krupi injured. And I feel like City again have a point to prove. Bouncing back from this humiliation. Let's have it right. In the Community Shield final, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying City 3-1 because they still have about a few more days than Arsenal. Obviously they got a bit more rest, a lot of time to work on things. Haaland didn't look like he was up on firing in terms of runs and strength and fitness. They've got a long way to go in terms of figuring out who needs to play where and who they're bringing in still. Because, bro, Rico Lewis, if you're playing him in 2026, you've got a problem. But yeah, I'm going to say 3-1. I feel like Semenyo will turn up. Erling Haaland will nick one. And Anderson, again, he needs to have a big game to start the ground running, hit the ground running. So, yeah, I'm going 3-1 City.
Yeah, I think that's a good fair result. Jamal just said Brentford are tough. Spurs are boggy team. I think he means bogey, but we understand what you're trying to say, mate. It would be a tough game, but I still feel like Tottenham will edge it 1-0. Next game as well. Good, very good game. Brighton at home to Villa. 2:00.
Oh, that is a tough one. You know what? I liked Villa against PSG. And I know it's technically another pre-season game, the European Community Shield, but yeah, I feel like Villa has still a great squad. They lost a couple good players for them, Luka Dean was good for them, not great but good. Rodgers, it's a tough one, but Brighton, isn't it? Like is it at home for Brighton?
Yeah.
You see, that changes things, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going 2-0 Brighton, I feel like they've lost Welbeck and that. Don't get me wrong. They don't have the team they did last season.
Yeah.
But they are solid at home, man. They are really good at home. So.
No, they are.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's going to be a Villa win, man. 2-0.
Oh, wait. I don't think you gave the Bournemouth City game.
No, I said I agree with 3-1. I think it's
okay.
result. Yeah.
Cool.
But I think with the Brighton game, I feel like they've lost Van Hecke, they've lost Welbeck. Jadon's put in the chat, Vuskovic will be so good for Brighton. That's a very good replacement for Van Hecke. I agree, but I still feel like with Aston Villa, it's going to be a bit too overpowering for Brighton. I feel like Emery, he does start off strong in the league. We saw last year, he was kind of battling for that top spot with Arsenal, with City. But obviously then they started concentrating more on the Europa League. So I feel like even though they lost Tielemans, they lost a few players, but they brought in some good players. And look, they played really well against PSG. That 17-year-old striker up front is looking like Lukaku, but better. Handful. 17 years old, hit the post against PSG, scored against PSG, bullying Pacho. So I feel like with Aston Villa, they could probably edge it. So, could be a tough game. Could be a draw, though, as well. I wouldn't be shocked if there was a draw. I wouldn't be shocked. Next one, I did have this as a big game. I would have said last year, but I mean, Newcastle, they've lost so many players in the last 2 windows, summer windows anyway. And they're playing Liverpool.
Yeah. There's
both
a lot
teams,
of
both teams. New manager, both teams, players gone. Konate, Salah, few players injured. Gordon. Newcastle, they've spent over 100 million this window. How will they size up against Liverpool? But Newcastle playing at home.
Yeah, I think Jaden. I was about to talk about Isak as well. Like, Is that the first time he's going back to Newcastle? Because I don't think
in a game, yeah, because
it
he
was
was injured, yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to be a monument. Everyone watch this match, bro, because it's going to be a tasty one. Although everyone else is leaving Newcastle, so it's kind of like, like you got out early. I feel like it's going to be a high-scoring match. Nothing mad, but I feel like it's going to be a 2-2 again. I feel like they both don't have the quality going forward. They've got spells here and there, like wing play and players throughout the team, but I just don't think Liverpool have got that killer instinct when they had a Salah, a Mane, Isak when he was up and firing, Ekatike, you know, like I feel like there's going to be goals, but I think there's going to be more mistakes causing the goals. Do you get what I mean? Rather than more quality going forward on both sides. But 2-2. A red card in there as well. I'll put that in there.
Who's getting the red card?
Joe Linton. If he starts,
Joe Linton.
yeah, this geezer's always up for something.
I feel like I've been watching a bit of Liverpool and they actually look really better than last year. I think Areola's definitely a better manager than Arne Slot. Arne Slot is just vibes. Like I feel like Arne Slot would be me as a manager, like just because I've got sick players, just do what you can and just come back with the victory. So for that reason, I think Liverpool will edge it. I'm going to say 2-0. I think Newcastle's manager, he's not a Prem-proven manager. So I feel like he will struggle. He might be great, you know, further down the line in the season. But I think the first game against Liverpool, even though you're playing at home, is still tough. And considering you lost Tonali, you've lost Gordon, you've lost Bruno Guimaraes. That's basically your whole spine of your team gone.
Yeah.
And it's big shoes to fill on Liverpool. They've lost Salah, they've lost Konate. I know they didn't have the best seasons last year, but it will impact them. But who knows? We could see Barcola in a Liverpool shirt before the game.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen. So I feel like it'll be 2-0 Newcastle. 2-0 Liverpool. Monday, AB. Since you're here as a Chelsea fan, you're playing Fulham. I think Chelsea might be a bit relevant this season. They might be a bit relevant.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No chance, bro. West London derby.
The last time, yeah.
Yeah, go on, bro.
I was going to say, they ain't won a Prem in 10 years, Chelsea. But they've spent 2 billion. Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, and you've got geezers like this piping up in the chat. AB, my guy, my brother. No, I love AB, man. Big up you. But no, I think with Chelsea, they're the most bipolar team I've ever witnessed. Like they've got quality spread throughout the team, but they've got too many players, and the structure is just mad. Fulham and Chelsea on paper is always closer than we think. You know, ideally, and in a world where players on paper seem like they should blow other teams away, Chelsea should win this 3-4-0 because they've lost Wilson. You know, Jimenez. A lot of players are just getting to that stage in their career where it's like, yeah, we're just here to collect checks, you know. Chelsea have made a couple good signings, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a 2-0 Chelsea job, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as, like I said, on paper it should be. But yeah, hopefully Fulham do something though, bro, because I can't stand Chelsea.
Fulham, they've gone for a big transition as well. I know they've got Gonzalo Garcia, as Jaden just mentioned now. Arbeloa, is he a better manager than Xabi Alonso? I don't think he is. So I feel like even though Fulham are playing at home, I don't think it will be a big threat to Chelsea. So I think Chelsea will probably edge this. And I think 2-1 Chelsea. I think Fulham will score. But I think Chelsea will just edge it. So yeah, that's our fixtures for the weekend. Now, before the season starts, obviously this will be our first podcast. It'll be our last podcast before the season starts.
Yeah.
Who is your first manager to get sacked?
Carrick. I just think this brother he's gassed up by United players and fans, and rightly so, innit, from where he took them from last season. But I just think Champions League, you know, way more games. The rest of the league and Champions League are just going to be too much for him, bro. So I'm going to say by Christmas, hasta la vista, bruv. Because I just think he's going to be gone. And they'll probably get in a Solskjaer again or Almarin's twin or whatever. I don't know. I think he's gone, man. What are you saying?
Oh, do you know what? Jaden said he agrees with you, by the way. Big up, Jaden. But
big up.
Somebody said De Zerbi, or Jamal said De Zerbi. We ain't hacking twice a week football. I actually had Xabi Alonso to get sacked first. And the reason why is because I'm looking at the historical context of Chelsea. Like, they've got rid of Graham Potter midway through the season. Last year, Maresca left. And Xabi Alonso, I feel like the job in Premier League is not going to be the same as Bundesliga. But after seeing Carrick pre-season, after seeing Man United's window, I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. It's gonna be Carrick. He's gonna get sacked because, bro, like, new manager bounce always happens with United. Like, we've seen it with Ten Hag. Like, they beat Arsenal 3-2 at Trafford. They got top 4. Everyone's like, United are back. You know, when Solskjaer took them top 4, Rio Ferdinand screaming, you know, in the back room, give Solskjaer a new contract. He just beat PSG.
Yeah.
We've seen that so many years. And United fans, they've turned into the old Arsenal fans. You know, like, reaching top 4 is a trophy for them. That's what United fans have become now.
Yeah.
And look, historically, guys, for a lot of you out there, you youngsters, before Fergie was in Man United were how they were now. Very dysfunctional football club. Didn't really have the backing. Didn't have any structure. But then when Fergie came in, he ran the club from top to bottom. And because of that, they became so successful. They won the Champions League, won Premier Leagues, you know, became at one point the best club in Premier League. Some people will still say Liverpool right now, but Fergie took you lot to another level. But since Fergie's left, your closest you've been to a Premier League is second place with Mourinho. So
Jamal.
Yeah, they'll probably get grouped in the UCL as well. Yep. Was it Galatasaray? Erkin's Turkish team knocked Man United out, weren't it? Or was it Copenhagen? Was it Copenhagen?
No, we got through. I think we beat them at home 3-2 and on a blunder or something like that. I don't know. I know we got through though, and they didn't. I'm pretty sure of it. But Jamal, man, I know you're optimistic. I know you love Carrick. You want to, you know, you have that affection and affinity because he's a previous player, former player and stuff. But smell the coffee, brother. Yeah. The inexperience this guy has to go a full season with twice the amount of games, Champions League, not making any signings to move you forward. It's an accident and a disaster waiting to happen, bro. And I'm speaking as a neutral. I don't care about United anymore. Yeah. Because back in the day, you gave us nightmares. Can't lie. A lot of beef. But
yeah,
now it's like you have to be realistic. But I feel like with Carrick, he seems like a nice lad. Yeah. Good tactician here and there. But I just don't think he's got the full, you know what I mean, to go a full season with United, bro. Maybe an Everton, a mid-table club and that. But yeah, I've get that P45 ready? That P60, whatever it is. I don't know what they call it. Yeah.
AB said, when is Arsenal win the Champions League? Bro, the same amount of time it's going to take you to finally beat Arsenal. It's been 5 years now. So the last time you beat Arsenal, you weren't married or didn't have a kid. Remember that.
Mad.
What did Jaden say? Elise versus Luke Shaw is going to be funny. Yep. I'm going to be honest with you. Luke Shaw, he couldn't even handle, I don't know who the right wing was for AC Milan. I don't know who he is. He's a nobody, but he couldn't handle him. Who's better, Saka or Dembele? Dembele,
Ooh.
I think.
You think so?
Dembele,
I like
man.
Dembele.
Ballon d'Or, bro. He's already got Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or, man. That's like the Grammys, bro. It don't really mean nothing.
No. But do you know what it is with Saka? What lets him down is the greediness, man. Like last year, he was annoying me a lot because of his greediness. Like even yesterday, he chose to shoot rather than pass it in the box and you got Zolis free.
And Havertz as well, yeah.
And Havertz. Yeah. Like, why you like those things let you down?
The thing is, if they're both in their pomp, if they're both fit, if they're both firing, I think Saka's more impactful. He's more consistent in terms of what I've seen. I don't watch Dembele. Every time I've seen him, don't get me wrong, he's done bits, obviously hat tricks and goals in important matches, but throughout a full season, from what I hear, you know, Dembele's always like, he picks and chooses his matches. But look, Dembele on paper has way more than Saka, yeah? But in terms of who I would have on that right wing, it would be Saka, bro. I'd play even Dembele through the middle more than I'd have him over Saka on the right wing. I don't know. That's just me, innit? that's my Arsenal hat on and that. But yeah, I don't know.
All right. If you was a manager, what are you most scared about? Declan Rice corner or PSG attack?
This is a clippable
Oh
question.
no, bro. Let me tell you something. PSG's attack, the transition, Kvaratskhelia. Bro, I'll be honest, man. Whenever PSG have the ball past the halfway line in the final or in general, I fear, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Can I just say though, this is a great question, by the way, and I pick PSG attack all day, but PSG looked more scared about our set pieces than we were of their attack, because we handled them, to be fair, apart from the penalty, obviously, and we soaked up a lot of pressure in that final. But everyone was saying and thinking that PSG, they're not great on a corner, defensively and stuff. So yeah, if you're talking about them versus each other, that's my thought process. But as a neutral, you'd say PSG attack because, bro, their players are just unreal, man.
No, they are. Speaking about players being unreal, Gotts or something, I'm probably butchering his name, but he's going to be a serious baller. Yeah, PSG got a new winger called Mikel Gotts, absolute crazy player, 50 million. I think he's 20 years old. We spoke about this on the channel last week. I said he's somebody that could definitely help Arsenal on the left side. Obviously, he's going to PSG now, but he's going to be a good player. He's Barcoda's replacement, I reckon. Anyway, they got Ferran Torres as well, but I feel like he's going to have like an Asensio spell at PSG. Probably play a few games in the season because I don't feel like he's an upgrade to anybody in that team. He doesn't bench anyone, and then he's out. But yeah, man, we're gonna leave it there, guys, because we've got another podcast to get onto, BTL podcast. That one's gonna be full of fireworks because we're going to be hunting the United fans down. We got a Spurs supporter in there. Yeah. Obviously, me and Erkin will be in there as well as Arsenal fans. And every single week is Pop and Bangs. So make sure you get to that podcast. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Erk's channel, Arsenal. Make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. Every single Monday, we're going to be here analyzing the Premier League games, analyzing match predictions, and on top of that, player performances. So this time next Monday, we're going to have a few broken hearts in the chat, and we're going to have some big smiles in the chat. So yeah, we'll see you then, man. Take care.
Peace.